Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audience, and welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow is your host. East-West is the show. G&E TV is with us now. Today with me is my good friend, old friend for a long time, Mr. Roger Schulte, and he is the former governor of Rotary 5300 District, year of 2010 to 11, I believe.
Yes.
And it was about last year, he and I had a very nice conversation at this show with one other gentleman. Who was he with us?
Just me.
Just you and me?
And we talked about rotoplast, the cleft lip and cleft palate program.
And we had a very nice discussion about Rotary International. And right now we're talking about, with the incoming Rotary International 5300 Peace Conference,
yes.
There are lots of new messages to be talked about, to be delivered, especially now at the moment when you look around us, you probably know what the word peace would mean, right? So to my dear friend, Roger, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that Rotary International has a big name. And I also know, my audience also know that Rotary International is one of the biggest organizations, nonprofit of the global earth. Maybe not one of, it is the biggest of the global earth. But to the inside, we need to let my audiences know more about the concept, right? So before everything, I would like to, if possible, hear some introduction about yourself,
Surely.
Please.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Rotary volunteer, and I've been involved with Rotary since 1978, when I was working as a middle school principal.
39 years ago.
39 years ago. And now that I'm retired, I'm able to give my time to the organization using the skills and talents that I have, that I've honed over the years. Rotary International is 1.2 million members. It's in over 200 countries and geographical areas of the world. Its theme is service above self, and it's 35,000 clubs throughout the world provide service both in their local communities as well as internationally.
You see.
And I'm very proud to be part of the organization, and I've done a number of projects both in the local community but also internationally to foster its goals. Its theme is service above self, and I think that's highly pertinent in terms of those of us in our lives that we need to think of others and be able to give back. It's, many of you know, and maybe we'll be able to talk about this later, its current major global project is the eradication of polio. We started on that in 1985 when there were 125 countries in which polio was endemic. We're down now to 3. Back then we had over 1,000 cases. Well, it was 135,000 cases a year. Now, so far this year, we're down to, I believe it is 7 cases of endemic polio.
I see.
And it's
That's
endemic in
almost zero.
Yeah, 3 countries: Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria. So that's what we're working on. But we can go into more depth because I've actually been to India on a polio immunization and things like that.
See.
So if there's time, maybe we can come back to that. But it's
we need to talk about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a major world undertaking that we're working with the World Health Organization and governments of countries all over the world, and Bill Gates Foundation and so on. But
exactly. I always keep wondering if some organization or something that can keep a guy for 39 years better be good.
Well,
right?
thank you.
That
Yes.
better be good.
Yes.
Because I've had lots of Rotary friends. I have lots of Rotary friends. And almost the 65% of my dear guests or VIP guests are Rotary members.
Interesting.
Why?
Yes.
And there is a why, right?
Yeah.
And when you are talking to them, you create some kind of a different feeling. Mm-hmm. They are inclusive, more inclusive, understandable, more understandable, understanding, more understanding, and they are selfish and more selfish. Mm-hmm. Those are them. And I learned from some members of yours of the same district, they went to India to do their water problems.
Right.
To tackle their water problems.
Issues, building
right?
dams. And
building a dam or create a
wells and so on.
Dig wells, yes. Stuff like that. And then they stayed there for 20, 30 something days. Mm-hmm. And I almost till the end, I all of a sudden learned, even including their airfare, their accommodation themselves, every penny is out of their own pocket.
Yes.
So for people who can do that without asking, they are good people.
Yes.
They are good people,
yeah.
right?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for representing that kind of group. Mm-hmm. Thank you for representing that kind of a human being. Okay. My whole point that's been bothering me ever since a year ago when San Bernardino was hit by the terrorist attack. And all the way till right now, there's not even 1 week of total silence. Here or there is always something popping up. Till right now, we're talking about Charlottesville in Virginia, and that followed, that consequences that followed, not a single day without those consequences, without those noises. What is the thing, the core value that people forgot? People forget already, to your knowledge.
In my thinking, the core value is respect for other people, regardless of where they are, regardless of social status, regardless of ethnicity, religion, personal beliefs, physical ability. And one has to believe in the human being and almost the sanctity of each one of us and how we are special. And I think that's what we have forgotten. We tend to become polarized because we're
more divided,
and we're comfortable in our niche, and it is a lot harder to reach out to understand. And I would say that is my basic thought, and one of the reasons.
Yeah, I do know that Rotary is not a politics.
Right, we're apolitical.
Yes,
and we're open to all races and religions.
Yeah,
and
non-partisan, stuff like that.
Non-partisan.
Yeah,
yes.
but when it comes to certain issues, when it comes to certain subjects, there is always politics involved. Do you think so?
There can be, yes.
There can be, right?
There
can
has
be.
to be.
Okay, very good.
We try to.
Very good. And you just mentioned about your approach for peace.
Yes.
I believe peace is the word that we need the most at this very current time, right?
Yeah.
What's your comment about that? How do you feel about the word peace?
I think that one needs to consider the issues in a community or the issues globally, and depending upon your position in terms of where you are in the world structure, one needs to ask himself, how can I, in my own little way, be more informed about what is out there, and how can I bring about peace? It might be peace in my family.
Yeah, you're right.
And in the community, how can I bring about dialogue? How can I bring about mediation? How can we use the resources that are there? What resources are there? one of the Rotary has 6 major areas of focus. And I'm not going to go over all of them, but they deal with disease and literacy and maternal health and things of that sort.
I see.
But one of those 6 is peace and dealing with conflict prevention and conflict resolution. And that is one of their 6 major areas of focus. And so it is it as a both as a macro organization done various projects and activities to address that area of focus, as well as on the more micro scale. So Rotary itself throughout the world does various projects, and I can go into some of those.
Yeah.
But it also, here we in Rotary District 5300 put on our own peace conferences.
Exactly.
And the concept is, and we've been doing this now, this will be our 28th year, and they're held in different locations.
I see.
But their purpose, their goal is to inform and Rotarians, community members, youth, it's open, those are open events, to inform, to enlighten, and to inspire action on the part of those that are participating.
Enlighten, inspire. Beautiful words.
And that's the purpose of those conferences. And we have past conferences. Each conference deals with a theme. This year's conference deals with traditional and social media, their impacts on peace building.
Very good.
And it sort of ties right in with all of the issues that are going on today.
It looks like a design for me.
Yes, it is. That's why we're here.
I'm in it, all right?
But we made this decision a year ago.
My dear friends, today in talking about peace, we have my friend Roger joining me for the discussion. And Roger stands for Rotary International 5300 District. He was the former governor for 5300 District, the year 2010 and 11. Right now, he's the chairman of the 5300 District for the district peace conference. So let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we really do need to see all the 6 elements. Even though we're focusing on peace, we really need to know the other 5.
Okay.
And I believe each of them would sound like a thunder you never heard of. Stay with us, please. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow, your host, and G&E TV with the East West show. Today we are once again talking about peace. It's all triggered about seeing that many stuff around us, being surrounded by problems, and I believe the only thing we're missing is that mind. Mind is the peace. Peace starts with a mind. When you have a peaceful mind, you start at one step, and then you want to enlighten it, you want to inspire other people to call for the same thing. With me, my good friend Roger Schulte, and he will share the thoughts about Rotary concept. Right. Okay. And you mentioned about 6 of the elements, so I know peace call is one of them. What are the other 5, please?
The other areas of focus, and when we say areas of focus,
yeah, okay.
It's what Rotary has decided our local clubs and districts, which usually are about 60 clubs, 70 clubs, these are areas they want us to focus on. So we have some unifying principles. You can focus on other areas, but these are the major areas, and they're in no particular order. One is disease and prevention and treatment.
Disease and prevention and treatment.
And so obviously our Polio Plus campaign is there. I've also been involved as a non-medical volunteer dealing with cleft lip and palate surgeries. I've done a lot of time raising funds.
Which is this, right?
Yes, raising funds for that. And we send medical teams of about 30 to various countries of the world, 12 times a year, 2-week missions to take care of that. The second area of focus, which you've alluded to already, is water and sanitation.
Water and sanitation.
They go hand in hand. And one of the latest, the projects that our district's been involved with is we usually send about 5 to 12 members on a team of about 30 or 40 to India each year. And the latest thing we've been doing are creating, I call them holding dams, that during the monsoon season, they then fill up with water. The water then is there for 6 to 8 months. It can be used in local impoverished communities, rural communities.
I see.
It also fills up the water table, brings the table higher so that the wells that work and so on can be used.
I see.
Third area, alluded to earlier, is maternal and child health.
Maternal and child care.
And many times what we're doing is providing equipment and training in clinics around the world, and also in places that are areas of conflict. So we've been involved in that way, and health is critical, and when you see children starving, you understand that. A project you may want to talk about sometime, and I have a friend you can get in from Temecula, is called the Peanut Butter Project.
Peanut Butter Project.
And what it does, it just immediately, this particular nutrient turns around a starving child, whole physical being, so that it can function. And it's an amazing project that I could connect you with later.
Please do.
Basic education and literacy. We have schools all over.
Basic education and literacy.
So we help local schools with supplies, with books, with equipment. We even Rotary
when you say local, you're talking about
internationally. Yes. But on the other hand, my Rotary Club in Upland, we give books to children in our Title I schools, the lower socioeconomic schools, twice a year, that they get to take home and create their own libraries. We work with the school districts to do that. So that is a local implementation of an area of focus. The other area that I think many people, is economic and community development. We can take and feed people. We can take and help educate them. But if there are no jobs, they're still going to be poor.
Oh, good point.
And I think we have people, Ray Carlson is one in our district who has been instrumental in providing what you call business plan training, not only in local schools, but also in Nigeria. And he sends what we call a vocational service team over to Nigeria every year, and they actually have a seminar that's, I don't know how many days, 3-4 days, where they train local, mostly men and women, how to establish a business plan and become an entrepreneur on a small scale.
I see.
It may be something like setting up a weaving or sewing room in their house. It could be something like making greeting cards. They've worked in Palestine and
or
things
workshop,
of that
a little
sort.
workshops.
But it usually is just that person. and
The entrepreneur
we have,
type, yes.
But we also get involved, and I've written grants with microfinancing.
That reminded me of one thing that I heard from another member of Rotary, my good friend Drexler Smith.
Yes.
He told me that when they were in India doing the water thing,
project,
digging wells, they also teach them how to make the tools in digging wells.
Yes.
So that when they're gone, they can start it themselves, not only by continue digging wells, but also to keep supplying the tools. And those who make the tools become entrepreneurs themselves. Those are the ones.
One of the big areas of emphasis when we start projects now, and I would say this is a recent emphasis, is what is called sustainability. We come in, we do something, we create a well. 5 years from now, is that well going to be functioning? Or is it going to be self-sustaining because we have trained local people how to care for it, how to fix it, and so on. So that's a well as an example, but the same would be true with anything.
In other words, you're not only giving them fish, you teach them fishing.
Fishing, yes. And the last area is the focus of this talk is peace and conflict prevention and resolution.
Peace and the conflict prevention.
So those are our 6 areas that we've been involved. We are really try to focus our efforts both locally and internationally, globally. I mean, and like peace and conflict resolution, we have programs that we try to work with schools. We're available to work with schools in terms of their programs. Our big effort are these peace conferences and working through that. And each peace conference, we emphasize different things, as well as we have different programs that go on. We're not doing it this year, but in the past we've had youth create videos related to peace. These are like 30-second videos that a high school student or a group of students create, and we've had some really interesting professional level videos that are created by 12 and 15-year-olds.
Amazing. I would say that is a very amazing, very convincing.
Yes.
Those 6 points, I mean, those 6 areas of focus, area of stress, those are exactly the areas that we call them problematic areas that are being tackled by those wonderful people, Rotary International. With me today is my friend Roger Schulte, and he is the former governor for 5300 district for year of 2010 and 11. Let's take a break. When we come back, and we will touch the last area, which is the area that we focus on right now, the peace and the conflict prevention. Such a big subject. Stay with us, please. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the show, Jack Zhao on East West with G&E TV. Sometimes in life, when you come to a moment like this, you really find yourself kind of like soaked into positivity, and you feel kind of you're uplifted, and you feel like you're flowing. You feel like you're flying, right? Why? Because we've been submerged by troubles for too long, right? Thank God we have this wonderful international group, nonprofit, Rotary International, to which my friend Roger Schulte is the current chairman for the Rotary International 5300 District for 2017 Peace Conference.
Yes.
Peace and Conflict Prevention Conference. And also he was the former governor for 53 district, 100 district for year of 2010 and 11. Speaking of all the 6 areas of focus, disease, cure and prevention, water, and sanitation, and women and maternal
Children's
care
health,
and the child care, education, literacy, right? And then you have
we
peace,
have entrepreneurship,
entrepreneurship,
economic,
community development, and then the 6th being the peace and the conflict prevention, right? So for that, under that subject, what do you do?
Okay, well, Rotary has a number of Rotary International projects which are focused on peace. The first thing that it has, each year we have an international convention. Before the convention, we have peace conferences. And those that are interested just in peace building go to those. President Ian Risley this year is going to have 6 peace conferences throughout the world. These are like seminars.
I see.
These are special events that will be held. And for example, one is on water and sanitation and peace. That's going to be held in Beirut, Lebanon. Then we're doing another one on economic and community development and peace. That's going to be in Sydney, Australia.
I see.
So he's taking our topics
everywhere,
but focusing them on peace. Basic education and literacy, that's going to be in Chicago. The one I wanted to go to, but I think I'm tied up, is environmental sustainability and peace. That's going to be in Vancouver, British Columbia. So these are all going to be on. 2 years ago, there was a President's International Peace Conference held right in Ontario, and I don't know how many thousand people were there, and it was put on, chaired by a good friend of mine, Rudy Westervelt, and he's from Crestline, and it was an outstanding event. So that's one thing it does. It puts on conferences. The other thing it does, it has what are called, we have what's called a Rotary Action Group for Peace. And this is a group of Rotarians that clubs
Rotary Action Group for Peace.
So these are a group, there's sort of it's a resource. So let's say you're planning a program regarding literacy in a developing country that has conflict going on. We can help you, the Rotary Action Group for Peace, with ideas on how you can incorporate team building. You can incorporate probably other activities, peer counseling, mediation kinds of things at that school and in that program. So it's a resource. And so Rotary clubs throughout the world call upon Rotary Action Groups for help. This is one of them, but it deals with peace.
I would assume that with the reputation that Rotary International has gained all over the 105 years, I would say. So when you get involved in something, things will become easier, right? People say, wow, all right, okay, let's go Rotary way.
Here's the last area, though, that is really most exciting. Rotary set up, and I don't know, I'm going to say 10 years ago, I may be wrong, they set up Rotary Peace Fellowship Program. That's a master's degree program on peace and conflict resolution and mediation. There are 6 peace centers throughout the world. You go to, if you're selected for the program, they select 100 a year. Each district may nominate someone, but there are 600 districts, so they only select 100. The universities they work with, in the United States, it's Duke and University of North Carolina. So our students that are selected that are from the United States, they can't go there. They have to go to a university somewhere else. The other universities are the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan, the University of Bradford in Bradford, England.
Is it academically recognized?
Yes, yes.
It is.
You've worked with that university and you're getting the degree, the Masters of Arts degree from that university.
That's amazing.
University of Queensland in Australia, University of Uppsala in Sweden, and then the last one is in Bangkok, Thailand. That program's a little different. These other programs, you get a master's degree. It's a 2-year program. You're involved even in the summer and time off with internships and field work somewhere in a developing country.
Any prerequisites?
Yes, there are a number of prerequisites. The first one is, first of all, you can't be a Rotarian or child of a Rotarian because we're funding this with our money.
You're due to outsiders.
Yes, to outsiders.
That's even
It should
purer.
be somebody,
even purer.
yes, it should be somebody who has had some experience in the world related to peace building. So, for example, we have had 3 candidates that have gone through the program. The current one who came back, the one before this, she was in the Peace Corps for 3 years. So that was her previous experience. So you have to have some kind of experience. You write an essay, you apply, it's highly competitive. And again, they only accept
somebody
100.
who has been active in the area of peace calls.
Yes.
Actually got some experiences.
So we've had people that have had all different kinds of occupations, and I've talked with many of them. One young man was people that are involved with military, that are looking at not war, but how they can bring peace within a country. Or even our police forces within local cities that are dealing with mediation between gangs and those kinds of things.
You're right.
I will give you, and you can have it on the screen, a
Yes,
website
please,
that people can go to that'll have the requirements and the deadlines and so on for applying.
All right.
But it is a program. One of the exciting things is that Lindsay Doyle has just returned, and she is local here in San Gabriel Valley. She has just returned from 2 years in Uppsala, Sweden. She has done a lot of work, both during her 2 years, looking at the arts and dance and drama related to peace building. And especially when you start getting factions together to work together for an artistic and an endeavor, it's just really exciting. And I just finished reading her paper. The peace program also sends you in the summer to various areas for field work where you actually carry out those areas. So it's just an amazing program that we work on. The program in Bangkok is shorter. It's a 3-month program. It's a certificate program.
Okay, certificate.
And if we're getting back to my peace conference, in 2010-11, when I was governor, we had a peace conference, and the theme of that conference was achieving peace in Afghanistan. Now this is 10-11. We were pretty optimistic back then.
Oh my God.
The challenges and opportunities.
Right place to achieve peace.
So we brought in a number of people to that conference. One of them was Pamela Broussard, and I flew her in from Afghanistan. And at that time, she is a graduate of the certificate program. She actually was working out and living outside of the green zone and dealing with empowerment of women and education of women. It was amazing. We also flew in the former ambassador to Afghanistan. We brought up from San Diego a man
Was it safe to do so in that area?
What she was doing?
No, what you were doing, up against them.
Yes. So we had a man from San Diego that actually was creating schools in Afghanistan. It's a Rotary Club in San Diego that was involved. So the point is, we do a lot of hands-on work, but being able to bring in Pamela to a peace conference and have her describe what it was like in a conflict zone to try to deal with peace. In this case, it was really economic development and empowerment of women.
Oh my God, it's getting.
It was just exciting. Now, Pamela basically was told for her own health and safety she had to leave. So she is back in Texas. But
thank you very much for those, for learning those stories. And my dear friends, today with Roger, I have some good time. You're learning about Rotary activities, Rotary events, or Rotary even programs, and they even have scholarship programs. Wow, that's amazing. Let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we'll continue by finding about this year's peace conference for 5300. About whereabouts, about time, about participants, about subjects, about themes, so on and so forth. Okay, stay with us, please. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on East West with the G&E TV. Today we're talking about peace, and with me is my good friend Roger Schulte. He is the current chairman for the 5300 District Rotary International this year's peace conference, and he also was a former governor for 5300 District for the year of 2010 to 2011. Obviously, he knows a lot about Rotary International. He knows a lot about the district, and he knows a lot about the international activities of Rotary, right? So for this year, for your peace conference, when and where is going to be held, please?
This year's peace conference is going to be held on October 21st. So
October 21st.
That's a Saturday. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be held at the Huntington Library, the beautiful Huntington Library in San Marino.
San Marino.
And it's a beautiful location, beautiful auditorium. Will be in Rothenberg Hall. And we have negotiated with them a price of $10. So after the conference, you are able, if you pre-order, you're able to see the grounds, the library, and the art galleries for $10. Normal fee for an adult is $29.
All right.
And so we've worked with them. We're partners with them. Our conference is open to all. And you can go online to register. The registration fee for the conference is $25 for adults, $5 for students, and that's pre-registration. And that registration is through our district website, which I will give you, and you can have it for people. As I mentioned earlier, our focus is going to be on traditional and social media. Their impacts on peace building. And that theme was decided over a year ago, before we have had all of the different issues coming up regarding the media. And so it's going to be a timely conference. We're going to be apolitical, and we have lined up some knowledgeable, effective speakers. The areas we're going to cover will be the uses and impact of visual media. That's one. The other one is the transition from the traditional print media to new forms of communication.
Oh, I see.
And you mentioned Drexel Smith. Well, he was involved with getting Steve Lambert to address that topic. And Steve, he's 34 years as a national award-winning reporter, editor, and publisher. He's run newsrooms throughout Southern California. He's been the editor of the San Bernardino Sun, the Inland Valley Daily Bulletin, and publisher of the San Gabriel Valley News Group. He's now a partner with what's called 2020 News, and he has lived and experienced the transition of news coverage.
All right.
And so he will be interesting. The other area will be the uses and impact of social media. And we have a gentleman by the name of Zeb Wellborn, who is a Rotarian, current president in Rancho in Chino, and he deals with websites, he deals with social media, and so he's going to deal with it from a practical viewpoint. On the area of the uses and impact of visual media that I mentioned earlier, we have an outstanding speaker who is a former Rotary. He's a Rotary Peace Fellow alum, and we're flying him in from Seattle, and he is Gavin Sullivan, and he basically is the writer, producer, moderator of a current TV series called Inside Outlook.
Okay,
he's
represent visual media.
Yes, and so he's traveled internationally. He's been a foreign correspondent. He's written and produced feature documentaries. So he's going to be dealing with visual media, and he's going to rely on information from other Rotary Peace Fellows that should be interesting. He's a past Fulbright scholar, and very, very exciting young man.
Go ahead. Is there anything more?
Yes, there's one more speaker and one more area, and that is the whole area of journalistic responsibilities.
Oh, that's
and
good.
how do you confront the whole concept of misinformation in the news, spin, fake news, and how do you look at that? And the speaker we have is not necessarily from the media, and probably a well-known person in our area. It's Georgia Houston Webb. She is an activist. She has been around. She's participated in the civil rights movement along with Martin Luther King when she was young. She's been a college, university professor. She's written plays that have been produced related that all focus on peace. She has dealt with empowering people and organizations, as well as looking at how do you open up our educational system and other areas that seem closed. How do you open them up to the marginalized? And so she's been involved with the Pomona Valley NAACP.
I'm quite amazed.
She's going to be very interesting.
I'm quite amazed by the selection of the theme
and
for the subject this year.
We're flying her in from Chicago.
Because I mean, if you want to give a comment about what's going on, I would blame half of it goes to the media responsibilities. So when you tackle the issue of media responsibilities, that's really, really hitting the nail on the head.
And how we interpret and understand what the media is presenting us so that we can do it in a thoughtful, way, because there's slant all the time.
And also, at the time when the traditional media, especially print media, being challenged by the shift from traditional to the
social
IT time whatsoever, there's a kind of like a devastating mind to create it. So during the devastation, they probably try to just exaggerate themselves, exaggerate points, so on and so forth, so as to cause attention, to drag the eyeballs, stuff like that. So to talk about the media responsibility is really, really, really the core of the issue.
I think so. We also, doing something different, instead of a video contest, this year we're going to honor what are called Rotary Ambassadors for Peace. These will be youth that have demonstrated peace building, peace by their actions and demeanor in their communities and school. And Rotary clubs will be able to nominate individuals for that.
I see.
So that's how we're going to take and honor them.
I could be a candidate.
Are you still in college?
I'm not.
Yes.
Or
high school?
I wish I can go
or
back.
High school or middle
I'd
school.
rather go back to high school. Well,
that
anyway,
would be good.
So we're having lots of fun today with my good friend Roger. And we're talking about peace conference and prevention, disturbances, the prevention program. And that is quite necessary for us now, especially at the moment when you look around you, look at what's happening around you. It is all about is a problematic world. So there's no concept of peace, no concept of caring about others, so on and so forth. Those are the issues that the Rotary International called for. So we thank Rotary International for being who you are. And to my audience, thank you for watching. And to Roger,
my pleasure, Jack.
Coming
again,
here this year.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Let's hold that for the camera. All right, good. All right.